Hello, welcome to Boys Town. It's a sunny day here. It's a little cool at Boys Town today, a little cold, but I'm so glad you joined us today here in our Hall of History Museum, because at Boys Town this week, we're kicking off Love Week. With Valentine's Day coming up, it's a very special event, love, and love at Boys Town was very important to Father Flanagan. You probably maybe don't know, but in all his speeches, all his sermons, he talked about love for your fellow man and the importance of love for people around the world, which was very revolutionary for its time, because back when Father Flanagan created Boys Town, 1917 through the 30s and 40s, there wasn't quite love out there, especially for homeless children. So you know what Father Flanagan said? I want to get the word out about love. And he thought the best way to do that was use a whole new medium that had just been taking off across America in the 1920s, 1930s, and it was the radio. And how did he do that on the radio? He's going to have a program called Links of Love. And here in the Hall of History, we have a special display talking about Father Flanagan's radio program and how he spread the word of love across the United States and around the world. And in the museum here, we have an actual radio that visitors can stop by. It's loaded with Father Flanagan's speeches talking about love at Boys Town and how he created the village of Boys Town and how important it was. We have a great image of Father doing an actual radio program in the Hall of History too, a scanner mural. And Father Flanagan called his program Links of Love because he wanted to link people all across America with the concept that we're going to help children that nobody wanted, because especially the boys, homeless boys in America at the time, were considered not healthy. They were considered vermin, in fact, and nobody wanted them and come into their communities and their homes. And he wanted to say, you got to have love for these children, and you have to welcome them into your home. So that's why he wanted them to have love. So he's going to create this network across America of all these men and women out there who are supporting the children of Boys Town, and especially the children that in their communities that might need their help. And in the museum, we have some of the headlines Father Flanagan talked about, especially what he called helpless children is a radio subject, where he talked about these children that were in jails or prisons or living on the streets of their communities. He had his different programs, again, called Links of Love, and he had some of the talks were Dare to be a Dreamer for children, Have Courage to Succeed. He was talking to the boys and girls across America, saying you have to think of improving your life, and heck, dream for the heavens. Just don't hold your ideas small. Think really big. He had Johnny the Gloom Killers Club. This club was intended to drive away the Great Depression, especially people that are feeling sad or having bad times. Johnny would come on and try to lift their spirits, especially during the Great Depression when people are having terrible times. His radio talks were broadcast again across the United States. People were listening and writing back to Father Flanagan and talking, asking him questions about how they needed his help and how he could help with their lives. He especially talked about laws protecting children, homeless children, from profiteering. He wanted child labor laws, very revolutionary for its time. But he would talk about those programs in his program and talk about how these children needed help and how they could receive that in their community if they had a program like Boys Town operating there. So he was always talking about creating more Boys Towns. We have a great image here of the map of the United States showing where his program is broadcast. You can see all across the United States that radio program is on. Every Sunday afternoon he was on the air, again talking about issues facing children and families and how Boys Town was here to help those children and how parents could work with their children, and especially, again, love within a family setting. We have a song that was actually created and dedicated to Father Flanagan called Dividends and Smiles. By listening to the radio program, the choir would come on. They would sing and tell stories, again, uplifting families, and the dividend was you were happy. And this one was unique. It was written and the music was created by Mr. Dan Desdunes, who was a volunteer here at Boys Town, a band leader at Omaha, and he helped to write the song for Father Flanagan. And then we have a great image of Father Flanagan here receiving a new radio for the boys of Boys Town. And you just look at the faces of all the boys here, how happy they are that they're receiving a new radio. And there's Father Flanagan. And it gives you some idea, too, the number of boys that he had living here with them at Boys Town in 1920s, 1930, and the diversity of the Boys Town community. Because this idea of love, too, is the idea you have to love your fellow man regardless of their race or religion, which, again, was very, very radical for its time in America. But he wanted to spread that message because at that time there was not much tolerance in the United States. And in our collection at Boys Town, we have some great images that we preserve here. We have thousands of images. But I picked some today that actually show our radio program and Father Flanagan participating. This first one we have is Father. You can see him standing there giving one of his radio speeches. You can see the speeches right here. And we do have some of these speeches still here in the Hall of History today that we maintain. This is a unique radio program Father participated in. This was done by a local church here in Omaha, Presbyterian Church. And it shows Father Flanagan sitting with Protestant ministers and a rabbi discussing issues facing faith in America in the 1920s, 1930s. Again, a very, very radical concept. But again, that idea of spreading love. No matter your race or your religion, you can sit down and discuss ideas and to help your fellow man. Father would often go and give talks too. This is a special event, the city of Omaha. You can see the gentleman next to him is in a tuxedo. This was an event that's taking place in the city of Omaha. And naturally, they had Father Flanagan come and he'd give a live radio broadcast across the United States. He would also go to different locations in America and give talks. This is a graduation he participated in when he was visiting another state. And again, even when he traveled, he was asked to give radio broadcasts when he was in different states and different communities. What's unique about our program was our boys participated too. This is a group of some of our boys talking on the radio. You can imagine live. These were boys that had been homeless, some of them, a few months before. And here they are live on the radio talking about their life at Boys Town and living with Father Flanagan. And all the boys got to participate. This young man, he's wearing his Boys Town sweatshirt, and he's talking on the radio, talking about how he came to Father Flanagan and what he was doing living in the village of Boys Town with Father Flanagan and the love he was receiving. And this is one of my favorite pictures. This is actually our Boys Town choir, and you can see the boys there are all dressed in their special uniforms, and you can see they're underneath the sign, Links of Love, and these in the radio towers linking them across the United States. Now, it's Father Flanagan's idea again to involve the boys in talking about life in the village of Boys Town and participating in their community. And in the collection too, we have some very special artifacts. And this is one that we have. This is one of Father Flanagan's radio speeches from December 1925. It's almost 100 years old. Now, at the top here, you can see in pencil writing. This is actually Father Flanagan's writing. And so we're very lucky that we have these radio speeches here that we maintain in the Hall of History. And what was the subject of his speeches? Parenting, motherhood, fatherhood, getting along with your fellow man, accepting individuals for who they are due to their race or their religion, and just spreading love in their community. And that's what we do here in the village of Boys Town. When our boys and girls come to us, some have not received much love in their life. We're here to provide them with that love and help them start a new idea and concept in life and to be a dreamer. Just as Father Flanagan said, dream outside the box. That's what we do here at Boys Town with our boys and girls. And it's a very unique community. And we encourage everyone to come and visit the community of Boys Town. You're welcome anytime. And if you'd like to support Father Flanagan's ministry and be part of his cause, please go to boystown.org and learn more how you can become a supporter of Father Flanagan and help spread the message of love. And I hope you stay connected to our boystown.org and to our Boys Town Facebook page, because this will be a whole week of love. Every day we'll have a new presentation on love here at Boys Town and how it can help you and your family. So thank you for joining me today here at the Hall of History, and I hope to see you here very soon in the village of Boys Town. Thank you very much.